Get the Friendo Club set up today and get access to over 700 Going In Raw bonus episodes, our monthly Big Blue predictions challenges, and the ability to ask questions at Going In Raw. We also offer the Steven Larson comic book and exclusive Friendo Club t-shirt. Just hit join here at youtube.com/Steven Larson or go to patreon.com/Steven Larson to sign up. Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Going In. I'm sorry, this is the Steven Larson Pro Wrestling Podcast. What am I thinking? What am I doing over here? Ruining our intro for 4 to 10 years now, whatever it is.
Yeah,
since 2014.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Podcasting since 2014. That's how it goes.
That's how it goes, yeah. Yeah. You know, one day we got to flip the script, man. Have you do that? Boy, it's a 32-point game now. Minnesota's up big, Larson. Anyways, we're not here to talk about the NUBA, the NBA. We're here to talk about Saturday night's main event. We're also going to talk about Smackdown, which had a pretty huge return. The Wyatt Six came back, but Saturday night's main event, not without its own huge returns in the form of big Bronson Reed. We've got ourselves a third man, brother.
Yeah, it's good. I'm happy Bronson Reed's back. He was doing great work before he got hurt. You know, people might say, well, didn't he have this whole thing with Seth? That's easy to write around. Seth can just say, you impressed me.
Boom. Done.
That's all it takes.
They should do that, by the way. They should do that.
Yeah, they should do that. It should be that simple. Bronson, you impressed me. That's it.
Yeah, right. It shouldn't be subtext.
No, they should just say it. Move forward.
Exactly, yeah.
You hit me with 25 tsunamis. You impressed me.
Yeah,
when I look at you, I saw the future of this business.
And it's tsunamis.
It's tsunami. You impressed me.
Yeah, you impressed me. Well
That's
done.
it. That's all you need.
That's all.
But no, it was great to see Bronson Reed back. He's awesome. Seth has himself quite the formidable trio with himself and Braun and Bronson. Bronson and Bronson.
Oh man, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And
what would be their tag team name?
Bronson and Bronson. Sounds like a law firm.
I know. Kind of great, yeah.
Or Braun and Bronson.
Yeah. Injury specialists.
Yeah.
They injure people.
Something went wrong, call Braun.
No, they injure people. They're injury specialists.
Oh, they're injury specialists.
They're like, hey, I got into a car accident. I got hit by like a Walmart big rig of some sort. They're like, no, we're not injury attorneys. It says you're injury specialists. We give injuries.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
It's good.
You want something to go wrong, call Braun. There it is.
Hey, whoa! That's good. You want something to go wrong, call Bronze.
Done.
Good.
Cody Rhodes came back, too, at the end of the show. John Cena was trying to help Logan Paul win the World Heavyweight Championship because he rightly made the logical connection that if Logan Paul was World Heavyweight Champion, it would ruin wrestling.
It would ruin wrestling, yeah.
And so he tried to make that happen. He was thwarted by, Cody Rhodes. He's back at the end of the show. We're getting a tag match at Money in the Bank. It's going to be Cena and Logan Paul taking on Cody and Jey Uso. No mention of Travis Scott. You know, there's rumors that we're going to get a 6-man tag match at Money in the Bank with Travis Scott on Cena's team, and then Jim Uso, join his brother and Cody.
You should clarify. No Travis Scott for now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For now.
Yeah.
For now. We still have 2 weeks.
Yeah, which would be really weird if they did that, but I guess they could pretty easily write it and say, well, we want an advantage here, and so we're going to get Travis Scott, a guy nobody's ever seen kind of do anything except for shoot punch Cody in the face and take a crossroads. He did that.
Yeah, he took a crossroads, yeah.
But yeah, and then I guess Cody can respond with a dude of his own, perhaps R-Truth. Or maybe they bring back Bad Bunny. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of, star power in that particular match. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be fine, I guess, if they just kept it with Cena, Logan Paul. On one hand, that would keep Logan Paul out of Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And then you have Cody, again, out of Money in the Bank. He don't need it. Don't need to be in that match. And then Jey Uso wouldn't be in it anyways because he's champion. So
yeah, typically the champion is not in the Money in the Bank ladder match. That's correct.
They really should have done that with Cena this year because he'd be like, I'm going to get the Money in the Bank, and then I'm going to rip up the contract because I'm going to ruin pro wrestling.
Or I'm going to win the contract, and I'm going to cash it on myself.
I'm going to take it to Braun and Braun, injury specialists. They're
Let
not.
something go wrong. Call Bronson.
Attorneys.
I get that they're using Money in the Bank as a vehicle to potentially motivate Cody versus Cena 2, maybe as soon as SummerSlam. That being said, it would have been kind of cool if Cena had defended the title at Money in the Bank, but they're relying on the ladder matches to sell the show for the most part. So they probably think, well, we could have Punk Cena at Money in the Bank. Well, the ladder matches are going to sell the show. Let's keep Punk Cena in our back pocket for a show later on in the year that doesn't have that kind of gimmick stipulation match associated with it that won't sell itself based on that.
No, I feel what you're saying, though. I actually kind of agree that it's a shame that we're not getting a Cena match because this is last year. There's, he's got, as he has, explicitly shown us through visual aids in the past, he has a limited number of dates. Every time he shows up, they remind everybody it's his last time being in this particular location. I assume that simply means for WWE, not, he's going to now never go to Tampa again.
Well, I think he has a home there.
Well, there you go. It's a good reason not to have
Total Bella's, his house was in Tampa.
There you go. Yeah, the wrestlers love Florida.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is kind of a bummer that we're not going to see John Cena title match at Money in the Bank. But this is a big deal match. It's Cody coming back. Cody and Jey. Let's say it stays Cody and Jey versus Logan and Cena. Who wins that match?
You'd think it'd have to be Cody and Jey because Cody being on the winning side would be even more of a motivating factor for him to come out and say, well, I beat you, John. Now I want my rematch.
Bingo. Logan Paul's going to eat the pin in that one. Or
Yeah,
unless they bring in the rappers, in which case it'll be Travis Scott. Maybe it'll be Travis Scott. I don't know. Maybe he's got something in his contract that says I can't get pinned because I'm Travis Scott.
Could be.
I'm a big music guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know, but I would assume that Cody and Jey would get the win there.
Given the tremendous "fuck you, Logan" chance, you would think that it would be pretty cool to have him eat the pin. Regardless, look, I have my ideas as to why people are chanting "fuck you, Logan," but regardless of the reason why people are chanting this stuff, seemingly they don't like the guy, whether it's because he's a heel or he's like a legit piece of crap. I don't know. I think it's probably the latter, but people like to see him take a loss there, maybe.
Yeah.
So probably not a terrible idea to have Logan eat the pin in that one.
Yeah, not a terrible idea at all.
And then I would assume you'd think the same thing. Motivate SummerSlam rematch for Cody and Cena.
Assuming they want to do it that soon,
Right.
It seems like, given the potential matches that Cena could have still as heel champion, that maybe they want to go a little longer with the heel run, but maybe not. Maybe this one, the 4-month heel run, and then as champion, and then put the title back on Cody and redemption arc for the rest of the year. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing about the redemption arc. Doesn't have to be. It's not like going to be like a light switch. So he can still have a couple of not defenses, but matches against faces as he's finding his way as, getting back to face John Cena. And I think maybe some notable names from the past, like a CM Punk, could be a good way to get him to that point if you really take a big chunk of story out of it, and or if you really build a really good story into it. I think that's probably through the matches is a good way to get him back to being a face.
Yeah, totally. I wasn't assuming it was going to be, he dropped the title next night on Raw. He comes out and is like, I was wrong this whole time. Speaking of that, let's talk about the match Cena had against R-Truth, because I think for both of us, from a storyline point of view, that was the match we were most interested in seeing because it seemed like there was a lot they could have done.
Sure.
And I felt like they just scratched the surface on the possibilities with what they could have done with that match. I mean, the presentation was what we expected. Where, I mean, from the promo last night and in the promo before that, R-Truth was positioning himself as the embodiment of good John Cena, of hustle, loyalty, and respect, and his goal was to beat hustle, loyalty, and respect back into John Cena. So when R-Truth comes out in Ron Cena gear to John Cena's theme, not surprised at all. It fit with the story.
Yeah, sure.
But at the same time, and R-Truth hits the 5-knuckle shuffle, hits him with an AA. And then Cena teased that little moment when he's about to hit him with the belt. Okay, I'm face to face with who I used to be, but it was all a ruse in the end. We didn't get any real meaty substance, I didn't feel like.
I think you're probably right, although I do kind of feel like maybe it's up to interpretation to a degree. Largely because he did stop himself from doing the shot to the head. He did it afterwards. He still kicked him in the balls, which is a less violent act than, killing somebody in the head, which oftentimes results in blood. It also would have gotten him DQ'd.
Yeah, because it was in full view of the ref.
Or no contested, for all we know. I don't even know anymore. So he low blowed him, hit the AA, and then after the match, he went ahead with the title shot. Yeah, I mean, the hesitation, definitely, I read it as a ruse as well. But as it was happening, obviously, it was like, oh, shit, we are getting this moment. And maybe the idea was there was some reflection before he realized, you know what I am. And this is how I'm going to go about this. And he kicks him in the balls and he hits him in the shot in the head afterwards. And he walks off with no reservation. Later on, of course, he has no hesitation in telling Jey Uso, I'm going to leave and this title's going to be stuck on a YouTuber. And then he, goes to try to get that to happen. And so, yeah, it seems like there's probably, you can read that as like no actual reflection, no regrets. He's happy with the way things are going right now. Little disappointed in that, given that we had such a powerful moment after Backlash went off the air. But I believe Cena's coming back to Smackdown this Friday to build for Money in the Bank. Mm-hmm. And maybe something will transpire at that point. It would be nice, though, if they had like kind of a consistent roadmap in terms of like, what is this? What are we getting out of John Cena? And maybe there was supposed to be something in that moment of hesitation that we can look back on when this is said and done and go back to it and be like, okay, so that was what they were intending there. I don't necessarily know, maybe not, but maybe they felt that in retrospect, the Backlash thing was too much too soon and they didn't want to go to that place yet. I don't know. It'll be interesting when all is said and done to go back and look at the steps they took to get him to the place where he's at, where he's going to eventually be.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. That maybe the intention was, all right, you have a moment of reflection, but then you realize, I'm not going to reflect. This is going to be subterfuge on my part. But after how it played out, after the backstage segment with Jey, it just seemed, all right, this is a ruse on my part, just trying to get the referee distracted so I can hit the low blow and get the win. But
well, it could be. One thing of note is that afterwards, he hit R-Truth with the title, but he didn't go overboard with it. It seemed more like he just wanted to get out of there. Like he hits a title shot, immediately exits and leaves so that he doesn't have to deal with it. And maybe there's something to be said for that. You don't want to read too much into something, but you also don't want to ignore what's presented to you as well.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a situation in that regard where he just leaves because like, all right, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Nothing more to do. I did what I was supposed to do. Yeah, obligation complete. And then he had some more business to take care of. We have a couple of memberships here, some re-ups. Nick Kyle, member for 14 months now, says, hello, friendos. Who has booked more ref bumps in WWE, Vince or Triple H? Let's take, the decades that Vince has on Triple H and try to break this down in terms of on
an annual basis.
Yeah.
On average, who has more ref bumps than booked in their matches? Yes.
Triple H really likes him.
He does.
He understands the power of a ref bump. I can appreciate it. I like
the
a good
opportunities it presents to the storytelling potential in a wrestling match.
Yeah, use the story.
Anything goes at that point.
Use the storytelling tools you have at your disposal. Steve Kuharski, member for 23 months, says, what are the chances CM Punk turns heel and joins Seth after
Zero.
That sent on afterwards when Punk tried to recreate the Jeff Van Gundy grab Paul Heyman by the what are you doing, Phil?
Yeah,
get out of here.
He had a knee under him when Bronson hit that senton.
Yeah, I know.
And I was worried that maybe.
And he chatted to the ref a little bit. I'm assuming he was like, "No, I'm fine. Give me the tsunami."
Yeah, exactly.
And he seemed fine, but yeah, no. After that, not a chance. Not a chance. Steve Kuharski also gave us a super chat. Thank you. Says,
thank you, Steve.
Saturday night's ad break. Look, man, This is a network special. They're putting it on there to make money.
Yep. Exactly.
Kyle Sturman with a super chat says Jesse Ventura, who was there, did commentary during the cage match, is the person who literally is just watching WWE because their partner is and just criticizes everything about it. I did appreciate Ventura's commentary. Why is Drew McIntyre in this match? He's such a handsome man. You can get into a
really
cage.
Appreciate him being highly critical of being able to escape through the door in a cage match.
Yeah. Which led to a pretty anticlimactic cage match.
I think it was supposed to be dramatic, but it didn't really turn out that way.
So let's do this. Let's go ahead and talk about our sponsors first, and then we'll dive into the nitty-gritty of the show.
Let's take a quick break. Get a word from our sponsor, Mint Mobile. Summer is right around the corner, and the folks at Mint Mobile have a take as hot as the summer sun, Steve. Getting that summer bod is out. Getting your savings bod is in.
Nice. That's right, man. This spring and summer is all about skimpy wireless bills and fat wallets, and you can have both without breaking a sweat or the bank with premium wireless plans from Mint Mobile for just $15 a month.
With Mint Mobile, you could say, no way to all those outrageous monthly bills and unexpected overages. All Mint Mobile plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text, all on the nation's largest 5G network. And you can bring your own phone and keep your current phone number in all your existing contacts. So ditch overpriced wireless and get 3 months of premium wireless service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month.
This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get your summer savings and shop premium wireless plans at mintmobile.com/raw. That's mintmobile.com/raw. Upfront payment of $45 for a 3-month 5GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for 3 months only. Then full price plan options are available. Taxes and fees are extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
And let's get word from our sponsor, Tempo. Steve, you and I, we may know a thing or two about wrestling, but what we really know is fast food.
Oh, yeah.
Thing is, when I think of fast food, maybe it's the same for you, I generally think of a lump of greasy meat products, sometimes on bun, that I usually feel like I have to get because I'm short on time.
You know, I used to think the same thing, Larson, until I discovered Tempo. Tempo is a weekly delivery service that allows you to select from over 20 mindful meal choices that are crafted to cook in just 3 minutes, and they're delivered fresh right to your door.
That's correct. Tempo's dietitian-approved menu takes all the guesswork out of eating well, and they've got new recipes each week, like enchilada beef bowls and spicy Korean barbecue chicken that are made with real, nutrient-rich ingredients which make it easy to keep up with your healthy lifestyle so you can eat well without sacrificing taste or convenience.
And for a limited time, Tempo is offering Going In Raw listeners 60% off your first box. Go to tempomeals.com/raw. That's tempomeals.com/raw for 60% off your first box. tempomeals.com/raw. Rules and restrictions may apply. So Saturday night's main event opened up with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn and CM Punk. I did notice after Reed came out and did his thing and they're all standing in the ring together, Michael Cole did say, "Oh, looks like Reed is joining this dangerous coalition." Any chance that the Dangerous Coalition could be the name of this group?
Just do Dangerous Alliance if that's the case.
Are we going to get a name for this thing? I like there's some fact checking going on in the chat because one of our friendos here mentions Alonzo Mourning's the one who dragged Jeff Van Gundy, and then Ab Spain says, wasn't it Sprewell who choked Van Gundy? But no, Sprewell choked PJ
Carlesimo. Yep, who was the coach of the Golden State Warriors at the time.
That is correct. That's correct. So anyways, this is fun stuff. Shout out to Sami Zayn and their CM Punk for their awesome matching attire. And very good look on those guys. Anyways, so a lot of this match was Sami Zayn trying to get that hot tag. He eventually did. And then Punk tags him back in. Sammy walks the ropes, hits a tornado DDT on Braun Breaker. Seth holds the leg for a haluva kick as Punk gets a dive out to take Rollins. Sammy hits an exploder on Braun in the corner. He goes for the kick, and Heyman grabs the leg. The ref catches him doing it, starts yelling at him. Sammy yells back. Bronson Reed comes out of nowhere, charges into
the
Punk.
background and run around in the background and take
Yeah.
out Punk. Yeah.
And he puts him through the barricade.
Yeah.
And then as Sammy is like, whoa, what's going on?
He's
It's
like,
my partner.
Punk?
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 What are you doing? Why did you just go through that barricade? He turns around and gets absolutely cut in half with a spear by Braun Breaker, a super spear. He gets covered, so Braun gets the win there.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, Reed gets on the apron, and him and Braun have a stare down. Evidently, Seth didn't clue Braun Breaker into this. Heyman knows what's going on.
Yeah,
and
Braun was squaring up on Bronson.
Yeah, he was peacocking him. And then he gets in there. Seth
straps down and everything.
Seth gives him a big hug. And I like that Punk started this match with his merch shirt on.
Yeah. He's like, oh, this isn't a house show. I got to take this thing off, huh?
What's cracking up, dude? Anyways, then Jeff Van Gundy, CM Van Gundy, starts going after Heyman's leg, trying to nod or something. I don't know what he's doing. And then they take him out and they stretch him out like one of them old school torture devices from the medieval times. And then Bronson Reed gives him a tsunami. Crowd starts chanting for another one.
Yeah.
They are so fickle, man.
No, that's not long ago. You're like, oh, I can't remember who you were talking about. No one's gonna like not cheer CM Punk. And now this isn't a situation they're booing him, but they're cheering him to get hurt.
Yeah, no, I know. There are certain things that are kind of bulletproof, you know. Like I think Drew's a bad guy, so that's different because they were chanting for one more concerto too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really curious where a crowd draws the line. You know, if it's like, let's say Nicholas came back and bizarrely he's still 10 years old. He gets concertoed. Is the crowd going to be like, yeah, fuck that kid up? Right? I don't know, man.
I don't know.
They're disgusting human beings. If you're a wrestling fan watching this, you're horrible.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. Our views just drop off a cliff. No, I'm joking, but it's pretty great.
So, crowd's chanting one more time. Bronson did not oblige. Next, we're backstage with Chelsea and the Secret Hervis. Chelsea says, I've risen from the ashes. She's got like a phoenix on her gear. Says, guess what? The votes are in. I'm going to defeat Zelina Vega and start my second term as your greatest, most dangerous United States Women's Champions. Thank you for your Hervis. So that match was next.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And things didn't go. They must have done a recount on those votes because Chelsea did not come out the winner.
No, she got a bloody nose though, man.
Yeah, she got her nose busted open, and then I wonder if it was on the 619.
I think it was on the recovery of the 619. So, oh my God, it's a 37-point game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on the 619 because Zelina kind of biffed it a little bit.
Yeah, and so she kind of stuck her foot out towards Chelsea's face to make it look like she actually kicked her, but I think she might have accidentally kicked her.
Yeah.
They go up to the top rope, and then Zelina hits a second rope code red to get the win.
Yeah.
Chelsea's nose is bleeding a lot.
It was bleeding a lot of blood there. Yeah. Shout out to Zelina Vega because she had a match yesterday on SmackDown.
Yeah.
That triple threat to get into Money in the Bank. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We see Jimmy Hart at ringside. Also, Bushwhacker Luke was there. He licks Jimmy, who tries to fend his advances off. They also announced, this is fucking awesome, by the way. This Worlds Collide is going to be awesome. Because not only was it announced on SmackDown that we're getting Legato versus El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Psycho Clown, and Pagano. Mm-hmm. That's fucking awesome. And then it was announced that Chad Gable is going to be taking on Vikingo.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And Vikingo was there in attendance.
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, and they showed a bunch of just endless clips of him doing all sorts of
amazing, crazy stuff.
I'm really looking for, and it's going to be on YouTube.
Yeah. So it's going to be free gratis on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. They didn't say if it was going to cost any money.
They're not going to charge for that. Yeah. When they say YouTube, it just means it's going to be on YouTube.
I assume so. But...
Yeah.
Anyways, next we had R-Truth taking on John Cena. So Cena makes his entrance first. He tells Chuck to cut his music, and then Lillian Garcia gives him the introduction, greatest of all time, last real world champion. Cena's music hits again. for our Truth's entrance, Ron Cena. He's got the shirt, the hat, the sweatbands, everything. He comes to the ring. Match begins with Cena hitting Truth with a lariat. And this match was short. And again, it felt like there was a lot of drama to be mined here. And they just kind of briefly touched on some of the interesting stuff they could have done without really expounding on it, I thought, in any sort of serious, dramatic way. I understand these matches here at Saturday Night's Main Event are typically on the 10-minute side, typically. So I knew we were going to get, 12 minutes of high drama here.
Yeah. But
at the same time, you think within 10 minutes, you could have given us more than just 30 seconds of maybe something interesting that maybe all it was a ruse.
No, I think it's a valid criticism. I do. I think that we could have got a little bit more. I thought, we were really intrigued by what happened after Backlash, and I think they could have gone to that well a little bit more, at least given us another step, another idea there. I agree with you.
Yeah. So Cena does the shoulder tackles, the belly to back, 5-knuckle shuffle, looks for an AA. Truth escapes that. He hits his own 5-knuckle shuffle. He hits the AA, covers. Cena kicks out. Truth looking for an STFU. Cena gets to the ropes pretty quick, rolls out of the ring. Truth follows. Cena throws him into the ring post, and then rolls Truth in the ring, gets the title. And so this is in full view of the ref, so it's not like there's a ref bump in this instance. So he's set up for the belt shot, and then he stops. He hesitates. And it seems like, I can't bring myself to do this. So he hands the title to the ref, and while the ref's taking the title out of the ring, he goes and shakes Truth's hand, and kicks him right in the front area.
Yeah.
AA, cover, get the win. And afterwards, that's when Cena runs at Truth with the title and hits him, and just, without even really missing a beat, just walks right out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So later on, we have Jey Uso backstage. He bumps into John Cena. Cena says, "Jey, been a long time." Jey says, "Last time I saw you, I was throwing you out of the Rumble." Cena says, "Very good. That's funny. Glad you remember when we last met. I can't wait to see you again." He said, "There's something about being part of such a legacy, being one of the most decorated families in our industry. To be world champion, only to lose it to a YouTuber. Imagine when my career ends and I leave with the title and yours is on a YouTuber. That's a lot of pressure. I wish you luck, champ. I'll be watching closely."
He also said that would ruin wrestling. Saying Logan
Paul,
On
as an aside, he said that would really ruin wrestling.
Yeah.
It's almost Seinfeldian at this point.
It is. It really is.
He's gonna ruin wrestling.
Did he just ruin wrestling? I think he ruined wrestling.
He ruined wrestling. I'm ruining wrestling.
He's ruining wrestling.
Patrick Cheeseman here has been a member for 24 months, and he said, "At least no Logan winning Money in the Bank."
That's true.
Agreed.
That's true.
Agreed.
So next we had the cage match. Damian Priest taking on Drew McIntyre. Solid cage match. Kind of know what you're going to get in these, especially escape the cage matches.
Yeah, you get a lot of just plotting, walking around.
Yeah, it's fine.
Rubbing their faces in the mesh.
Yeah, it's chain link. It's not comfortable, but it's not going to rip flesh off bone,
Yeah.
They make it seem like rubbing someone's face against chain link fence is the most devastating thing.
Give me like a barbed wire, wall for the
the old the cage where there's actually like steel,
the
it
blue
wasn't
one?
just chain link. Yeah.
The blue one? Yeah.
You rub someone's face on that's going to hurt.
Quick aside here, Aussie Dragoon says on Twitch chat, "Do you think Los Garces will use their move in that match?" No!
They're not winning.
They're not winning that match. They're a mess right now.
They're not winning. Anyways, they trade their own moves. They each hit their own finishers, and then the other person's finisher.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I like that Priest low-key did a Claymore fairly early in the match, and commentary said nothing about it.
Priest with a kick. I was like, that was a Claymore. He did the thing. It was actually a picture-perfect Claymore, too.
It was really good. And Drew's South Heaven was really good, too.
It was, yeah.
So then towards the end here, Drew's looking for a Claymore. Priest holds on to the ropes. So at the beginning of the match, Drew attacks Priest before the door closes, before the match officially begins, and brings a couple chairs into the ring that they don't use at all till the very end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
So Drew sets up like he's going to. He uses the chair on Priest a couple times, sets up in the corner, and puts Priest's head against it, like how he won at WrestleMania. This time, Priest gets out of the way. Then Priest gets the chair and hits him with it. Does the chair to the throat bit, hits the South of Heaven, and then puts the chair underneath Drew. Grabs the chair that was set up in the corner, hits him with the concerto.
Yeah.
And again, I think this is one of those things that was supposed to be super dramatic because Drew's out.
He's out.
And Priest stares at him. He just slowly walks to the cage and stops at one of the steps, looks back and reconsiders. Nah, and then just leaves.
Yeah. Like on paper, I feel like it might be dramatic. But when you actually watch it, you know, it was just like he saunters away.
Yeah.
He just saunters away.
Perhaps the most entertaining aspect of this match was Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
Just angry that you could win by walking through a door.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt him on that one. He also was not aware that Michael Cole wrestled the match. He was giving Pat McAfee shit for losing his match. And then he was like, you know what? He had the balls to step in there.
Yeah.
And then Michael Cole was like, you know, Jesse, I'm still undefeated at WrestleMania. What?
Yeah.
Who did you wrestle? And Pat said, we don't want to talk about that, Jesse.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
So anyways, Drew eventually makes it to his feet and leaves under his own power. And then we had our main event. Jey Uso taking on Logan Paul. I believe this match started with about 10 minutes left on the show.
It did, yeah.
So Jay's looking, let's go to the finish. Jay's looking for a spear. Logan avoids it. Sends Jey into an exposed turnbuckle that just moments before Logan had pulled off inadvertently. Or maybe not. Hits him with the right hand. Jey kicks out. You know, if they really want to book that right hand to be anything, he needs to win a match with.
Yeah, it's kind of nothing these days.
No.
Yeah,
like you can hit
nothing.
somebody. How many times we see someone do a fairly pedestrian move in like a promo segment and the person's laid out. They do that same move in the course of a match and it's an easy kick out. You know what I mean?
He has a really good looking finisher these days.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I understand, he wants like a proper wrestling move. But yeah, it's like, he's just sucker punches people with it. But like anybody gets sucker punched, they're going to go down like that.
Well, like they keep saying, he's got titanium in his hand because he broke his hand or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'll be honest. I really like that story. Like anytime anybody has any kind of metal in their body, I'm down with it.
It's because it's close to it's close to an augmentation, like an actual human augmentation.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the more medieval, the better. Like it's just like a slab of metal in you.
Yeah.
I just think that's cool as hell.
There you go.
Lex Luger, the bionic elbow.
Bionic elbow.
I mean, bionic is a bit more advanced than just
that
straight
actually
up
seems like an actual augmentation.
chunks of metal.
Yeah, just a metal plate in his forearm. So where was I? Jay kicks out of the punch, hits the super kick, hits the splash, covers. Cena runs out and pulls the ref out of the ring during the pitfall. So we got a ref bump. Cena attacks Jay. Cody runs out. Place goes crazy. Cody hits Cena with the crossroads. Logan then slides in with the brass knuckles, looking to punch Jay. Jay hits him with the spear. Uso splash. Cody gets and helps the ref back in. Buff Daddy or Jack Daddy ref.
Yeah, man. Rob Zabata.
Yep. Count the 3. And then Cody, being well aware the show's about to go off the air, grabs the mic and says, "You've ruined enough. I'm sorry. The Cena farewell tour came through Rhodes country. You got Logan Paul. He says, you got a tag partner. I got one too. We'll see you at Money in the Bank."
He had to rush through that too, because as soon as dun 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 tonight on KCRA3.
Oh, they were putting up the executive producer credit
were.
while he was doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. At Money in the Bank. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. You've ruined enough. Chaotic Old Boar here with a super chat. Says, hear me out. Having both champs in a main event tag match at Money in the Bank allows for rampant speculation of a same night cash-in attempt.
I guess so. Well, it depends on the order of the matches, though.
So, like, yeah, no, I feel that. If that goes on, I mean, that should main event so that you could theoretically.
Yeah.
It's June 9th. That's the
day.
date.
Circle that day on your calendar.
You could carve that in stone. Jey Uso's losing that thing June 9th. That's happening. That's happening.
It's a 44-point lead now, Steve.
It's a what?
44.
I turned it off, man.
I don't have it on. I just got
this is wasting my bandwidth. 44. Oh my god.
Yeah,
hey,
44.
You know what the Minnesota Timberwolves need to do is ask the league, can we make this a 24-point win and use that 20 points in our next game? Because OKC is not going to have another game like this, man. Anyways,
you want to talk SmackDown?
Yeah, let's talk Hey, man, I thought SmackDown after we talked. Maybe it's just the fact that like we're not doing it. Well, I just watched it today while I was like, doing stuff, and I was able to fast forward the commercials.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just good. I thought SmackDown was really good this week.
There definitely was more happening on SmackDown this week as opposed to prior weeks.
One thing that they've actually done kind of low-key really well is building Tiffany Stratton to be kind of like a foundational piece of SmackDown. In the absence of like a proper like main event title, they've used her, and she's actually risen to the occasion. She does really well these days. I think, man, I hate to say it, but I'm going to give all that credit to Charlotte Flair. I'm joking. That being said, her program with Charlotte Flair was probably really difficult to deal with, but that kind of shit does sort of build character, It keeps you on your toes, and she has had such a confidence about her since then. I'm not advocating for people to, go all crazy and shit during their feuds.
You're not in favor of the sink or swim philosophy.
I think in certain circumstances it can work. Sure, we're seeing proof of it. I feel, I mean, dude. I was thinking about that today. I was doing yard. My legs are they're burning, man, because I was doing the yard work today.
Oh yeah. What are we doing yard work for?
What's that?
What are you doing yard work for? Save your legs for basketball.
You can take a look at my backyard, and I'll show you why I need to get. It's a mess back there.
All right.
So I was cleaning out the lower level, but then the top 2 levels are a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna call Law and Order.
You should.
Yeah.
Done.
But no, I think Tiffany has kind of been holding it down. Plus, with Money in the Bank, they got the qualifiers, SmackDown, and adding Fraxium to the mix. The tag team division, they might not have stories, but it's a pretty hot division right now, and it's because of the work they've put into it. So, I don't want SmackDown to be. Maybe it's just me coping with the fact that it's going to be 3 hours for a couple more weeks or a month. But I thought SmackDown was really decent this week.
It was decent. Decent's a good word. They put the right amount of emphasis and focus on the tag division too. You had the singles match with Ciampa and Chris Sabin, solid bout.
Wasn't I complaining? Hey, why don't you get some of these guys in a singles match to enhance these feuds?
Exactly. You got the tag title match in the main event. Like, we knew that wasn't going to have a clean finish at all.
Right.
Didn't really anticipate the Wyatt Six returning and laying everybody out, but we got that. And
that was a big deal.
Yeah.
You gotta have some A story or A act anchor your programming.
Well, you just got to have something that says, hey, people, you might want to tune in next week to see what's going to happen next.
Well,
there's the A story or the C or D story.
Yeah.
That's what's been kind of missing from SmackDown.
Yeah. Dude, those qualifiers that have been announced for next week, holy shit.
Yeah. Andrade,
Mello, and Jacob Fatu. Mm-hmm. Oh, my God. And then Naomi, Jade, and Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Holy shit, those are going to be good.
Those are going to be really good matches.
Who comes out of? So this week, Julia got the win in a match between her, Charlotte Flair, and Zelina.
Yeah.
Zelina ate the pin in this one.
LA Knight got the win in his one after Alistair hit Nakamura with the black mass. Then LA Knight chucked Alistair out of the ring and covered him.
Yeah, biffed him out of there. Covered him. Oh, that was good. Man, every time I start to get sick of LA Knight, he does something that reminds me of how much I love him.
Even his promo on Friday last night was pretty solid.
It was funny. It was funny. It was good stuff. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I would imagine, given the tensions between Solo was good again last night.
Solo was quickly, and this is another thing. Solo's quick. You could tell they put all the pieces in place, and you and I are sitting here bitching about it. But then when it starts to come together, you got to acknowledge they put the work into this. Yeah. Solo's one of my favorite characters right now.
He's so good. Like, he's an all right promo. he is so good in the backstage stuff.
It's like Dom. It's like Dom. Dom's decent as a promo, but like when he's just a character, he's so great. Good.
Like that when he found out that Jacob had a qualifier. That was killing me.
And then Fatu says, "I love you, Solo." Walks off, and Solo looks over at JC and says, "He said that in 6 months."
Yeah.
That was funny.
He was trying to cover his reservations about having Jacob possibly in the match with him by trying to act like he was happy for Jacob.
Yeah, right. Man.
So anyways, we're way off base. Jacob ain't winning his match. It's going to be Mello.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Naomi.
Mello and Miz. Their chemistry is so fucking good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was happy with SmackDown, man. There was a lot to like, especially Fraxium's new theme. We'll talk about that here in a second.
Gosh.
Talk about it in a second. We're in the middle of the May Predictions Challenge. Of course, Money in the Bank is coming up. I got to show you guys this because, Larson, we have a new physical Money in the Bank.
Oh, that's right.
I got to show it to you. Give me 2 seconds, okay?
Sure. While you do that, I'll explain how we do Money in the Bank.
Perfect,
we still got the May Predictions Challenge to finish. So we still have Battleground and Double or Nothing for the May Predictions Challenge. Already looking ahead to June. Look at that attaché case. So, like Money in the Bank, we do our Money in the Bank the same way. Speaking of which, I think Jerry is our Money in the Bank briefcase holder is yet to cash in.
Oh, right? Shit. Who?
Jerry?
Oh, my God.
Jerry, you got like 2 weeks.
Yeah. There's one guaranteed win in there, I think.
I think so.
I think we have one guaranteed win.
Sounds right.
So, I've been putting this together, and it's still a work in progress. But it's now the Friendo in the bank because I've got all these stickers from the last 10 years laying around. I got an attaché case and I stuck a bunch of our old stickers on this thing.
Look at that.
Look at this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I think I'm going to put like some duct tape over it. It says Friendo in the bank.
There you go.
And this is going to be on the line. I think like maybe we'll talk about like the physical item because I'm fine like sending this to somebody and then just doing a new one for next year. But probably after the cash in because they need to cash in.
Yeah.
And so the numbers got to be in here. And so they cash in, then we do the thing and then I'll send it to them. Maybe something like that.
There you go.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be on the line in June for Money in the Bank. We're in the May Predictions Challenge right now. Evidently I'm tied for third right now.
You're 3 points behind the leader.
Holy shit. It's all going to fall apart tomorrow.
No, you're going to win this.
It's all going to fall apart tomorrow. I generally crumble under pressure, and I'm fine with that. I've come to live with that. You should see me at Call of Duty. Whenever I'm playing Call of Duty, I go on like a 5-6 kill streak. I can't handle it, and I just start getting eaten alive. Yeah, it's horrible. That's horrible. So don't expect big things from me.
I do. I believe in you.
It's what I tell my wife. It's what I tell my family. Don't expect big things from your dad, kids.
I'm excited to see you by the end of tomorrow.
Oh no, man, no.
I'm gonna bring this shirt over tomorrow.
Hey, wait a second. You're gonna be here tomorrow, so we're not doing a watch along for anything tomorrow. But Larson's agreed. You're gonna come over here and hang out and watch the All In.
Agreed to my terms, so I've agreed to come over.
Wait, what are your terms? Hey, the only term I want to know is what are we having for food tomorrow, man?
I'm open to ideas.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. Anyways, so yeah, the Miz stuff. Let's see. We had that. So yeah, Miz hyping. Apparently Miz claims that Aldis offered him a spot. He said, you choose, you or Mello. And he said, Mello's my guy. And he hyped him up. He says, I wouldn't be a 2-time champion without Money in the Bank, this, that, the other. I wouldn't have main event of WrestleMania, et cetera, et cetera. He says, I want that for you, but you gotta execute my plan to perfection. And then he got Mello to agree, and Mello's into it. So you think Mello's going to come out of that qualifier?
Yeah, I think he's going to win the qualifier, but he's not going to make it. I don't think he's going to win the briefcase now.
Man, I don't know. The idea of drama between Jacob and Solo, both in Money in the Bank.
It's good, too.
Might be too good to pass up.
Could be. Could be. The opening segment of Smackdown saw Tiffany come to the ring. She get interrupted by Alexa and then eventually Charlotte. Just exploring the dynamic between all those characters. Charlotte did congratulate Tiffany on her win. Alexis kind of introduced herself to Tiffany. Says, I won Money in the Bank in the past. I do it again. I'm coming after your title.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that led right to the qualifier between Flair, Julia, and Zelina. And Julia wins, breaking up that figure 8 with a top rope stomp to Charlotte's bad knee.
Mm-hmm.
Surgically repaired knee, I should say. Follows with the Northern Lights bomb on Zelina to get the win. Later on backstage, Charlotte's walking as Bliss is talking to Lily, but she doesn't know that. Talking about how important having friends are to watch your back. And Charlotte's like, what are you talking about? Alexa says, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Lily. So then LA Knight has an interview in the locker room. Talks a bunch of crap about Solo. Say he's going to win tonight. Move on to Money in the Bank. And after that's when they announced Jade versus Naomi versus Nia for a qualifying match next week.
That was a really good video promo too.
It was really good.
One. Yeah.
And then we had Nakamura versus LA Knight versus Alistair. As mentioned, Alistair hits Nakamura with Black Mass, and LA Knight throws Alistair out of the ring, covers Nakamura to get the win. And then after that, we had the backstage segment where Miz is talking to Mello, and Miz says, all this offered the Money in the Bank ladder match spot to me, or the qualifier to me, but I said no. Mello. R-Truth had a promo talking about his match against Cena.
I thought this was really well done. He doesn't get to do this very often.
I didn't like the crowd was wanting him, but he rolled with it.
I agree. I hate that also. Sometimes when you speak in a certain cadence, it's like a pro wrestling audience. It's just Pavlovian at this point. And if you speak in a cadence where it invites the what's, and then he bought it, or he dug in a little bit on it, it just kept on going. But they did respond whenever he had a punctuation. And I guess that's something. But yeah, it's just, you get the pro wrestling audience together. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he reiterated some of the points he made last week about this isn't John Cena I know. I'm not facing John Cena.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to beat the hustle, loyalty, and respect back into him. Bianca this is a really good video package where seemingly it was just, hey, we're going to shoot you somewhere. We're going to turn the camera on and just talk.
Yeah, right.
And this was so good. Yeah,
it was really well done. She's going to be in Knoxville, I think, next week. So yeah, it was really well filmed. Everything, all the production stuff these days is so fucking good. Mm-hmm. It's so well done. We had Fraxium challenging for the tag titles. They had an interview talking about the tag title match. They said, we're not concerned about DIY, only beating the Street Profits. In a Street Profits interview, Street Profits say we're going to walk out tag champs. And that's when the Bloodline walks out for their match. We had Fraxium and Street Profits. Larson, you texted me that this Fraxium theme was awful. So I was expecting really bad.
It is really bad.
What I wasn't expecting was actual poetry. And I feel like, for whatever reason, maybe you need to listen to this several more times and find the actual poetry in it.
I think I'd rather stab a screwdriver in my eardrums than listen to this song again. Musically, it's horrible. The lyrics are silly.
Well, the lyrics really are where the poetry hit hardest.
I guess it depends on one's definition of poetry.
Because here's a small sampling of this.
Steve, the thing is that what you're about to read is the first verse, the second verse, the third verse, because it's the same song looped over and over.
Yeah. Echoing the greats, Bob Dylan, Bob Denver.
Anyways, if you're going to read a sample of lyrics, let's get it over with and move on with the show. Because.
Thank you. So imagine it opens up the Tron, the most epic scenery we could possibly imagine, a black hole, an asteroid zooming past it, not being tugged into the black hole, bizarrely. So
what would happen? Yeah.
In terms of the physics of this. However, listen to these lyrics. Body count tall, we stacking them, whacking them to the maximum. Say it out loud, we Fraxium. These are real lyrics. These are real lyrics. Streets of Rage, it's where we from, we Fraxium. I'm going to say this again. Body count tall, we stacking them, whacking them to the maximum. Say it out loud, we Fraxium. Streets of Rage is where we from, we Fraxium. What the fuck? What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything. None of it means anything.
Well, it does have meaning. It means they kill people. Body count tall?
I understand what that phrase means. I know what that phrase means, but I think it's it's set up clearly
Whacking
where you have
them?
a black hole with the asteroid ever that goes by and it's not sucked into it, which is what would happen.
Yes, right.
And since that doesn't happen, it's defying the laws of physics, rendering everything meaningless.
Or is, as Curious Corduroy here says, body count tall. Body count these days is also a euphemism for how many people you have fucked.
That's true.
Right, had the sex with.
That's true.
So is it possible these guys are out there just laying pipe everywhere?
It's entirely possible.
All over the place.
That could be.
Hog City.
It could be.
Man. Oh, man.
Could be.
And they did said whacking them.
Yeah.
So maybe not only are they absolute sluts, they are chronic masturbators. Mm-hmm.
That's another way of interpreting it. It actually makes more sense if we say it that way, I think, than the alternative.
Oh, boy. That was fun. Anyways, solid match. Fucking awesome match.
Oh, it's really good, yeah.
Because they're
Fraxium's best tag team in wrestling right now.
They really are.
They're so good.
They're super good. Anyways, and the Profits are about to get the win because Ford is looking for his frog splash. Axion's out of the way. They got what's his face down. Lights go down. Come back up. Wyatt Six in the ring. Lay everybody out, and they stand tall. It's great too when the lights come back on. Ford is still on the corner about to hit a splash, and he does the whole thing. Yeah. The cross there. So yeah, the Wyatt Six are back. What do you expect is going to happen here? Should we not get our hopes up?
No, we shouldn't. Well, I'll say this. Let me be honest, Steve. I think whatever interesting things they teased upon their debut, I think they're probably going to not do that anymore.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to be a faction with a really cool presentation that'll win some matches. But I don't know what else per se.
I mean, I feel like you're probably right. Win some matches, lose the big ones. Mm-hmm. Maybe they'll be like a Wyatt type attraction where they're not even around all that much. Mm-hmm. But if they get, if they get involved with Alexa's stuff, if you just got to tell some stories with some people.
That's the key. Yeah.
You just got to throw them into some stories, because otherwise they're going to be ostensibly a faction of Nakamura's, just like depth guys who we're intimidating, but we never really actually win anything. So it remains to be seen. My hopes aren't high, and maybe because of that, I'll be pleasantly surprised by what they do.
Could be. So going back to the Fraxium theme, Stardog here in chat, the Twitch chat says, so that theme was definitely written by AI, right?
It's entirely 1000%. Okay, but here's the thing though. What would the prompt be to get those lyrics? Because you got to tell it to do something.
Right. A song about a badass tag team named Fraxium. Steve, remember when we were doing the AI, just goofing around with the AI song thing? Write a song about Steven Larson. The lyrics were of that level.
Yeah, but it didn't automatically assume that we were crushing Strange all the time.
Gosh. Maybe they put a prompt in for that.
That may be. Look, there's a 0% chance that they weren't laughing their asses off when they came up with this thing.
Probably.
This is wild.
I know.
Absolutely wild.
Maybe that's what Def Rebel does. Is like, all right, we need they want us to write another theme. All right. So they just like start writing, and whatever they do that makes them laugh, they just record, and then that's the theme, and everybody
I
assumes they're
hope,
being serious.
honest to God, I hope so. I really do, because they get shit on all the time, and it'd be miraculous if they were like, "Yeah, it's crap, and it makes us laugh so hard, and we're getting a huge bag off this."
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Let's talk more about Bad Bloodline, Jacob Solo, JC. So they're backstage, and Jacob says, "Hey, to Jeff Cobb, I don't like you. I don't trust you. And Solo, I don't like what you got going on. I didn't need any help at Backlash. JC isn't family." And Solo's like, "Oh, we need that aggression tonight for our tag match against Phoenix and Uso. We're family." So then before that tag match, we get Phoenix and Jimmy Uso. They're hyping each other up before their entrances. The finish sees Solo distract Jimmy as he's going up top for the splash. Goes for the splash, misses it. Cobb hits him with Tour of the Islands to get the win. Later on, they're backstage, and Aldous walks up and tells Jacob he's got a qualifier, main event qualifier next week. Solo ain't thrilled about it, but he's trying to act like he's happy for Jacob. Oh, it was so good.
Both get the win. We both get the win. We're both going to be in there. And then Fatu, "I love you, Solo." He ain't said that in 6 months. God, Solo's so good these days.
He is.
He's so good. Fun.
Yeah. We saw Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre fight a lot. They opened the show brawling backstage, and then about, I don't know, top of the second hour, that fight spilled out to the arena, and they just got broken up.
Also, Michin and B-Fab looking for some revenge against the Secret Hervis. So we had Zelina Vega walking backstage. Green steps up, says, "Oh, this isn't it's okay. There's no threat. There's no threat to be assessed here." They talk shit. They brawl. Michin and B-Fab hop in. Aldous steps in. Michin's like, "Hey, we want to get ours back." And so he books Michin and B-Fab against the Secret Hervis for later. And then B-Fab ends up getting her finisher on Alba Fire, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. After Michin hit Alba with Eat Defeat. Mm-hmm. So they get a nice win. That was good. I want to talk about this, though, because clearly last week, all the drama, the telenovela-esque drama going on Legato, Santos asked Berto to join him for what was very clearly stated. We talked about this aspect of it, too. A sit-down meal.
Yes.
Okay.
Dinner. Sit-down dinner, wasn't it?
A sit-down dinner is what the exact verbiage there. And it was in English. So there's no possibility of, a mistranslation here. They cut to it, and it's just an empty table with some wine.
This was probably filmed in a hotel room.
Yeah, it looked like it.
Yeah.
Now, look, if you're a connoisseur of wine, I know you enjoy wine. I'm not a big fan.
I like myself a good glass of wine, yeah.
But that's totally fine. Hey, if I came over, you had some wine, I'd partake just to be in the social mood.
But here's the thing: if you said, "Hey, Larson, come on over, we'll have a sit down dinner and discuss business," and I came over, we sit at your table, and I see a bottle of wine there, I'm not gonna be angry about the wine, but at the same time, I'm like, I can't have that much wine unless it gets some food in my tummy.
Well, also,
where's the sit down dinner?
If you're gonna go to if somebody says, "I'm going to bring a sit-down dinner. I'm going to invite you over for sit-down dinner," you might have prepared for that by maybe eating a light lunch or an early lunch. You're ready for this dinner.
Oh, that wine's going to go right to your head, too.
Well, yeah, the wine's going to go right to your head, but your stomach is a grumbling. You're not going to listen to what this dude has to say.
No, you're going to be angry because where's my sit-down dinner?
Right, exactly. Psycho clown, I'm crazy for food right now because you haven't fed me.
Yeah.
So they no sit-down dinner, though. There's just a sit down.
Well, it's like sit down wine tasting.
Yeah, with one wine. And then Santos is like, "Listen, we could do great things together." Like, he really doesn't say anything that's new, except at Worlds Collide, we're all going to come together against AAA's best. And Berto, he says him and Angel stand up. Berto doesn't stand up.
They want to toast, yeah.
Because they want to toast. Berto's not having it. He does eventually stand up, though, because he's like, "I'm hungry." And he takes a small swig of wine, doesn't cheers anybody, puts it down, no salud. And then he just bolts out of there. And Angel's like, "You want me to go get him?" And Santos like, "Nah. he'll understand. It's like you did not give him anything to chew on, metaphorically or physically.
Yeah, I understand Berto's anger.
Dude, I'd be like,
sit down dinner.
Like, you understand, you can woo somebody with some food. They might actually want to listen to you.
How many times has Legato literally done, like, filmed promo bits like this, looking like they're sitting at a restaurant?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Done a lot.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like, find a place to shoot this. Give us as viewers.
Yeah.
Give us a sit-down dinner we are promised.
At some point, I need to see a fat plate with just some noms, just done, just completely destroyed.
Yeah.
Like they ripped into this shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see a body count of burritos is what I want to see, man. Goddamn, I had me and Lacey this morning. So last night, we were watching Final Destination because we're going to watch the new one in the theaters. But I ain't seen any of them.
Oh, you're going to watch all of them before the...
Yeah, there's like a million of them, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
So we watched the first one, watched the first half of it last night. This morning, woke up a little bit on the late side, and so I was, McDonald's, Burger King, the only two decent breakfast places. They're done with breakfast at that point. So I was like, hey, Adalberto's.
Yeah.
Get 2 breakfast burritos, 1 ham and cheese, and 1 bacon and potato. And then we cut them in half, divvy them up.
It's good.
So we each get a half of a really good, different breakfast burrito.
Yeah, variety.
See, that's a good. Well, that's a late.
Did you crush both halves?
Fucking A. Are you kidding me?
Good.
I cleaned my plate like a savage, licking the plate.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, licking the plate.
Yeah,
good.
my shirt.
There you go. Yeah, wringing every little bit of flavor out of your shirt.
No quarter left.
None. Good. Expect nothing less.
That's what you got to do, man. Oh man.
Anyway, so then finally, Tommaso Ciampa had a match against Chris Sabin of Motor City Machine Guns. Before the match, DIY had a promo talking shit about Motor City Machine Guns, Fraxium as well. So during the match, there's this moment where Ciampa gets pushed off the top rope. I think it's faking a knee injury. And so the ref's checking on him and telling Chris Sabin, go back to your corner. So Candice LeRae runs in, yanks Sabin throat first over the top rope, and then Ciampa follows with the running knee to get the W, and then DIY and Candice will celebrate together.
Yeah, man. Candice is with DIY, not Motor City Machine Guns. Yeah, this is a great place for her. They got great chemistry.
They do.
Yeah, tag division's heating up. I like what they're doing over there. It's a lot better than the Raw tag division, which gets by exclusively on the New Day talking shit about Ivar being fat. That guy's been in front of a couple sit-down meals in his day. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show. Time to go get my load on. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it.
Minimum 6 beers, Steve.
What's that? Yeah, minimum
6 beers.
Yeah, I'm just going to walk around with a 6-pack.
There you go.
Anyways, that's going to do it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Until next time, we'll see you guys.